At some point in your life, probably during a rough patch, probably when things weren't going way that you expected, someone told you to find yourself, go travel, take time off, do some soul searching. You will figure out who you really are. And it sounds right when someone says it. It sounds like wisdom, like there is this real, complete, authentic version of you somewhere out there waiting, just needs to be found like lost keys. I don't think that's totally true. There may be slightly a truthness in that, but I think believing it actually makes things harder than they need to be. Here is the problem with finding yourself idea. It's assumed there is something to find, some fixed pre-existing self that was all there all along, just buried under circumstances and other people's expectations and the noise of daily life. And if you just get quiet enough, travel far enough, think hard enough, you will uncover it. But what if there is nothing to uncover? What if the self isn't something you find? It's something you build badly, slowly, with whatever happens to be around at that time. The books you read at 17, the person who hurt you at 19, the friend who said the right thing at exactly the right moment, the job you took because you needed money, the city you ended up is not because you planned to, but because life went that way. None of that was a discovery, that was construction. Messy, accidental, unplanned construction. Think about who you were 5 years ago, not just older, actually different. Different things bothered you, different things mattered. You cared about some things intensely that you barely think about now, and things that matter deeply to you now. You hadn't even encountered yet 5 years ago. Which one of those is the real you? The one from 5 years ago, the one right now, the one you will be in 5 years from now when something happens that changes how you see everything else. If there was a fixed self to find, it wouldn't be keep changing like this. The changing is the thing. The changing is you, not a distraction from finding yourself, the actual process of building yourself, whether you are paying attention to it or not. And here is the part nobody mentions about that building. It's bad. The construction is genuinely bad for a long time. You build something, a belief, an identity, and way of being in the world. And it works for a while, and then something happens and it doesn't work anymore. And you have to tear down it badly and build slightly different with whatever new materials life just handed you. And the new version is also imperfect, also temporary, also going to need rebuilding eventually. And there is no finished version. And that's the thing finding yourself narrative never tells you, because it implies there is a destination, a moment where you arrive, when you finally know who you are and everything clicks into place. That moment doesn't come, or if it does, it lasts about 3 weeks and then something happens, you are back in the middle of it again. I think about the things that actually shaped who I am. None of them were planned, none of them were the result of soul searching or travel or quiet reflection. They were just the things that happened, things I read because something mentioned them randomly, conversation that went somewhere unexpected, difficulty periods that I didn't handle well but that changed something in me anyway. I didn't find myself in any of that. I got built by it without being asked, without fully understanding what was happening until it had already happened. And what got built is okay, imperfect, still under construction in some obvious places, but it's mine. Not because I discovered it, because it's made of my specific experiences, my specific mistakes, my specific version of whatever materials happen to be available. Nobody else got built from exactly that combination. That's the only kind of unique way any of us actually gets. So, what do you do with this? I think stop waiting to find yourself before you start doing things, because you won't find yourself and then start. You will start doing things and get built in that process. The doing is the building. There is no finding stage before. And stop being so hard on yourself when the current version doesn't feel complete or coherent or like it all fits together. It's not supposed to fit together yet. You are mid-construction. Everyone is mid-construction. The people who look like they have it figured out are all in mid-construction. They are just more comfortable with the mess. And the bad building, the mistakes, the version of yourself you are embarrassed by, the beliefs you held and then abandoned, the person you were in that one period of your life that you would rather forget. That wasn't you failing to find yourself. That was just an earlier version of the bill. And the bad building, the mistakes version of yourself you are embarrassed by, the beliefs you held and then abandoned, the person you were in that one period of your life that you would rather forget. That wasn't you failing to find yourself. That was just an earlier version of the build. Necessary, a part of it, not something that happened before the real you emerged. It was the real you at that point in the construction. And this right now is also the real you at this point. And 5 years from now also something will happen and that version will be real too. There is nothing to find. They are just what you build next.